has you in stealth mode for now. So relax. The mission is still going according to plan. You're in perfect position. You're doing exactly what you need to do. But I think you do maybe need to trust the plan, a little bit more. That will help you experience this more easily and more pleasurably. Okay? So God has you in stealth mode. All right. It's not going to be forever. Okay. Let me give you definitions. All right. So that we're on the same page. Stealth mode, a deliberate temporary state of secrecy used by businesses, software, individuals, divine beings to operate without drawing public attention. The goal is to hide operations, products, or strategic plans from competitors and the public until these plans are ready to be unveiled to the public. Oof. So that's what you're doing now. If you've been, feeling a little antsy or you've been maybe discouraged that people are not seeing you or hearing you or feeling you as you know that you are meant to be seen, heard, and felt, it's all part of the plan, babe. You are just in stealth mode, okay? It's for the better, the good of the mission. In order to carry out the objectives of the mission, we're gonna need you in stealth mode for a little bit, okay? Let me give you a couple more examples and then I'll give you some more examples and we'll talk more about this, all right? So, in business, a stealth mode startup operates entirely off the radar. So it's not in the Wall Street Journal, it's not in Business Insider. They're just doing their thing. They're doing that to stop competitors, especially larger competitors, from stealing their ideas. It gives them time to build up their intellectual property and they have time to perfect a product without public scrutiny. You don't want to, rush your product to the market before you've tested it, right? Before you know what it does, like what things, blah, blah, blah. You want to go through that process outside of the public's eye. All right. So in technology, computers, there are programs, software, processes that operate secretly or obscure their activities from the user. So we're talking like antivirus stuff. We're talking like tracking and spyware, keystroke stuffs. This technology isn't out there going, I am tracking your keystrokes. Beware. Like it's operating in stealth mode. It's doing it. It's just like writing stuff down, it's documenting and tracking what you're doing, but it's not necessarily letting the user know. It's in stealth mode, okay? Then we also have like personal work habits, like being in stealth mode, it means like keeping your head down and working intensely on a project without broadcasting your progress to everyone else. So you might be avoiding social media, muting your notifications, or just like quietly working on a side project without like telling your boss, like, hey, I'm doing this, and telling everybody around you, hey, I'm working on this thing. You just do it, babe. You just do it in secret, and the public will see it when it's ready. When they need to see it, then they will see it. And then, of course, with the military, the stealth mode is either tactics, vehicles, or equipment that are designed to evade detection by radar, visual, or acoustic sensors. Oof! And so you have been working on something that is so powerful, so paradigm shifting, so healing, so important, so vital for the collective. You up in the cosmic army, in God's army, this, divine army of light and profound cosmic darkness. And you're in stealth mode. You are not going to be like the powers that were, the Matrix, they can't see you. They can't hear you. They can't even sense you. I think you've done so much work to clean your energy and raise your energy. You're on this vibration that like the Matrix can't detect. The Matrix can get their hooks in you when you are constantly in this energy of fear, of anxiety, of doubt, of scarcity. That is a frequency that the matrix recognizes. And it's easy to, fight you, to keep you down when you're in those energies. But you have been cleansing your energy, renewing your energy, taking your spiritual baths, saging, grounding, raising your vibration. So you are constantly in this energy of hope, faith, belief, confidence, satisfaction, gratitude, because it's already done. The matrix can't sense that. They don't detect it. It doesn't show up on their radars. You literally fly under the radar. So yeah, if you're like, man, I keep giving these like brilliant messages, this beautiful art, this like powerful information, and it's not being seen, it's not being heard, people aren't feeling me, it's because you're in stealth mode and the time isn't right. Okay? If you've ever seen Star Trek, I think it's the Vulcans. They have this technology, they have cloaking technology. And like every time they use it, it totally confounds the Federation. Um, it doesn't show up on the Federation's radars or sensors. You can't see it. Maybe at most they're like, there's like a kind of an anomaly. There's like something, but we're not really picking anything up. We don't hear it. We don't see it. And then every time the Vulcans deactivate their cloaking and they show up and the Enterprise, the Federation is like, oh, where did they come from? All that time, it just looked like the darkness, the dark expanse of space. The Vulcans were operating in stealth mode. They were cloaked and they were just like passing by the Enterprise, passing by the Federation starships, doing their thing so they can get into position to do whatever they want to do. So when the Vulcans are in stealth mode, they're not like, how come the Enterprise can't hear us? How come they can't see how cool our technology is? Like, hello, we're right here. Babe, you are like the what is it, the ghost of Christmas past. You can walk around, you can see, you can interact, but like no one can see you or hear you. And it's for your advantage. It's for the fulfillment of the mission. We need you to be in stealth mode so you can get into position, so your competitors, the enemy, lets down their defenses because they're like, we're safe, we don't see anyone, we don't hear anyone, nothing's going on. And then bow, you pop out and they're confounded every time. They're just like, oh my god, what the hell? They send I know there's episodes, I think, where like people are trying to steal this Vulcan cloaking technology because it's such a game changer. The reason why the Zionists, the American government spend so much energy on surveillance is because they recognize the value of like knowing what someone is doing, knowing what they're working on, knowing what they're thinking. So they don't want you to be operating in stealth mode. They want you to keep everyone, abreast of what you're doing, to like make sure everyone knows what you're doing and that you're not a mystery because it harms them. But you're working for the divine now, baby, and you are in stealth mode. It is crucial for the fulfillment of the mission for the matrix, the powers that were, to be unable to see you, to be unable to detect you. So don't worry. It's all for the good of you. You don't want your cover to be blown before it's ready. The powers that were, they want you to they want to surveil you, they want to see what you got going on, they want to be able to get your playbook, but you're in stealth mode. And it's not even something that you've done, like it's out of your hands. The divine, the cosmos, source, the universe has placed you in stealth mode. So no matter how much you're like, hey, look at the information. Hey, look over here, guys. I'm telling you the plan. This is what I'm doing. Spirit has put you in stealth mode. God has put you in stealth mode. So no matter how much you scream, the matrix can't hear you. People who would stop you, who would try to stop you, don't even know you exist. The people who know you exist can't recognize you. You're not this old identity that you used to be. You have been embodying, your highest self, your future self. Yeah. And so, yeah, you've separated from mass consciousness. You are not letting yourself be distracted by the noise, and you're just like putting your head down. You're focusing on, your connection with spirit. You're learning the language of spirit and the divine. You are learning your own intuition, learning how to trust that. And that involves you got to separate from mass consciousness, from the crowd, from what everyone else is doing, and go stealth mode. You turn off your notifications. Maybe you let people know that you're like going to be in hermit mode, but I think you just left. You just went ghost. And everyone's like, where the hell did they go? They were just here. And you're past them now. You're training, you're learning information, you are, kind of like you're getting more comfortable with your stealth mode skills. You're getting more comfortable with the woo-woo stuff. You're getting more comfortable with your shamanic gifts, your psychic abilities. And you're practicing all that, cultivating that, working on that outside of the public eye. Because when the public gets their eye on something, they're like, what are you doing? What's your source? When has that ever worked? And they just project their fears, their anxieties, the, stories that they have onto you. But you're so powerful. So, like, God isn't worried about you. Like, but even if they're like, I don't know if this person can keep a secret. Like, dang, like they just want to be seen so freaking bad. They're, doing all this stuff. And your mission is so important that God has kind of taken it out of your hands and placed you in stealth mode. There is a cloak of protection, a veil of protection around you. And so the people who might try to stop you don't even know you exist. You're a Vulcan out here, cloaked. This like super valuable technology that all of the different factions try to get a hold of because it is such a strategic value. It really guarantees your success. It at least guarantees that you're never going to be in like a lower position, a lesser position. It always keeps you in a position of power. People can't see you. They don't know what you're doing. They don't know what you're planning. That terrifies the government. That terrifies the powers that were. The Matrix, they like to be all up in stuff, They like to be in your brain, surveilling you. They're so used to making you do their work for them that you are probably surveilling yourself. And you're like, oh, let me not say this thing. I don't want it to get out, or maybe let me not do this thing. Someone might take it the wrong way. That's not something you have to be concerned about. You're in stealth mode. Even if the information you have does get out, it's cloaked, it's coded. It isn't detected by the powers that were. Their technology has not evolved enough to be able to stop you. Can't even detect you, babe. So don't worry about it. And, like, be happy, be excited. Awesome. Now that you know everything's going according to plan, you are being unseen for the protection of you and the mission. So you're supposed to enjoy yourself. You're supposed to like look around, get a lay of the land. You can, practice, you can develop yourself. You can test your theories outside of the public eye. This is like a really powerful, beautiful time because it's the time that's like getting you into position. So like you're developing, you're learning yourself, you're learning how you operate best, how best to channel your energy, how to harness your energy best. And when it's time, you'll know, can't miss it. And you might be a little surprised. You're so used to being in stealth mode at this point that you might be misreading the signs that like slowly your stealth mode is being deactivated. Not fully, but they're starting to feel you. They're starting to see you. And yeah, maybe you're getting some signs that there is a shift. You're not as invisible as you used to be. Even if it's just to yourself, you see yourself more. You're able to maybe listen back to the messages that you give more. You're able to read back the things you wrote in your journal now. You're able to see them in a new light. You're like, oh shit, has this all been accruing and building for my ultimate unveiling? And when you're unveiled, like the Vulcans, when they uncloak, they're unstoppable. It like always like throws the Federation off. They're like, what? Where did they even come from? I thought we were alone. Did they see us doing this thing just now? Oh shit. So don't worry about it. Enjoy it, in fact. Look around at all you've created. You've done it. All of the work you've been doing is paying off. Being in stealth mode, working diligently, this like focused introspection and this spiritual journey you've been on is paying off. I think you're seeing it. I think you're getting more of your manifestations. The things you were calling in last year, a lot of those things are just your everyday now. Not only have you achieved it, it comes in faster. You've mastered detachment so well that like you forgot some of the things that you manifested, that you asked for. They just show up and you're like, oh right. There was a time where I was like really striving for this thing. And then I went into stealth mode, focused on my mission, and the thing showed up. And I was like, oh right. I used to be like wanting this so bad and now it's here. It's so here, I kind of forgot about it. So take this beautiful, powerful time where you are operating under the radar and like, yeah, see it as the valuable strategic advantage that it is. Don't try to rush through. That's not the point of stealth mode, to rush through it. The point of stealth mode is to gather intel, is to build up your own defenses, protect your own, tools, learn, practice, learn how to use these things so that they can't be used against you. Part of it is getting comfortable fulfilling the mission without the public being like, yes, that's right. Without some external source being like, do this, do that. You're learning to trust yourself and spirit. And you're doing a great job. I wouldn't be coming across the screen if you weren't really far along. So don't worry. You're just about to be uncloaked, okay? But in the meantime, relax, rest, enjoy yourself, nourish yourself, build yourself. Because stealth mode is a temporary state, all right? And the battle is almost won. So, yeah. All right. I delivered the message. So, like, comment, subscribe. Go back and watch some of my other episodes because they're also really brilliant and probably have really important information for you to incorporate and integrate, ponder. So enjoy. Enjoy this stealth mode, baby. Man, these Israelis, they wish they could operate in stealth mode. Gone are the days where they could just operate in the shadows and in secret and do their little machinations and no one knew what was going on. Now, every internet sleuth, every person with a, phone is onto them, is watching them like a hawk. They can't do anything without people being like, is that AI? Is this a psyop? Is this a false flag? They've lost the element of surprise. They've lost the power, the strategic advantage of being in stealth mode. And now you have it. And now you're going to show them how it's done, how you really harness the power of stealth mode. Jeez. So, like, comment, subscribe. I love you so much. This is all made up. You're doing a great job. And relax, baby. You're going to be unveiled soon, okay? Stealth mode is temporary, and you are going to be coming online, being unveiled, being seen in your fullness very soon. All right? Love you. Bye.